What do you think this headline is about?
Okay.
This is what we do on my podcast, by the way.
I used the cough button for the right reason. How about that?
Woman with Down syndrome
Okay.
loses court of appeal abortion law case. So what do you think that's about?
I would say someone is forcing her to get an abortion.
Okay.
And she loses the lawsuit.
Right, because that's what a reasonable person would think.
Right.
No.
What is it?
What it's about is, so this is in England. Their abortion laws are pretty much the same as Texas. And
Really?
it was pretty close.
6 weeks?
No, it's not 6 weeks, but it's like there's an exception for the rape and incest, and if there's going to be a severe birth defect, and as a specific example, they use Down syndrome in the law. And this woman wants to repeal the law because she has Down syndrome, and making that an exception makes her less than. So if your baby's about to be born with Down syndrome in the UK, you can have an abortion.
It's like where do you decide birth defects end? Right. So what if your child is born with only one hand? You know what I'm saying?
Well, it's all stuff that they
What
can.
if your child's born like Zion Clark?
Well, they can tell genetically beforehand. I don't know if they can tell. Well, maybe they can.
I think they can tell a lot.
Yeah.
I think they can tell a lot about your development. If someone decides that, I mean, you could get real crazy with that, right? Like, look, people are capable of some very dark justifications. Like, look at what they were doing in China. The one-child policy in China, there was horror stories about people killing their babies that are girls so they could have one kid. I don't know how many of them were folklore. Those are those things that people would tell you. You just like, they drown their babies.
Right.
Like
the Spartans, they just throw them off a cliff.
Yeah, that they drown their girls. Like, Jesus. How much is that? Is that real? Do they really I mean, if you can imagine it, some horrific thing, someone has done it.
Because it's also crazy. Because like what you can't have is a country of just men. You can't.
No.
As much as we talk and like complain about women, it's like we still need them to be. Like we need that feminine energy to balance out. Because you seen what happens when it's just men left to their devices and there's no women. That gets crazy.
It's not good.
No.
And also, if there's not enough females to match with the heterosexual males, like you don't even have a chance.
Right.
It's like if you're a guy already, everyone wants to talk about like, the benefits of being a guy, and there are benefits to being a guy. But one of the negative effects of being a guy that people don't talk about is guys that are unattractive and don't have any money. They are unheard and unseen. Unattractive guys with no money, they're in a very strange position in our society.
Yeah,
and like Andrew Tate, as much as people hate him, talked about that. He's like, it's a very small percentage of guys that have all the money and all the women and all the the fucking Ferraris and all that shit. He's like, to say that that's men, that's representative of men, is insane, because it is such a small percentage.
Yeah.
Now, are they, if it's a guy like that who's got like diamond encrusted watches and he's fucking flashing and he's blinging and he's taking pictures with all these girls, it's obnoxious. Everybody else gets upset about it. But one of the reasons why they get upset about it is because they know how inaccessible that is.
Yeah. And
for most people, it's completely impossible.
And women don't like to hear that, but it's like and in a lot of situations, the ceiling is capped for women.
Right.
But the floor is also capped. It's like, I ain't never seen a homeless bad bitch. Not one time.
Yeah, but if they're not a bad bitch. See, like if you're a guy, like even if you're a hot guy, you could still be poor and broke and no one's marrying you.
Oh, yeah. You remember that? Remember the one guy that Miley Cyrus like rescued, like he was homeless and she like took him on a date to the award show or some shit? It's like, yeah, he was on the street. But you've never seen a girl that could be a model on the street.
That's maybe true.
It's not, because there's always some dude that's willing to take care of you.
There's a lot of pretty prostitutes, man.
Yeah.
Some people go through some horrible shit in their life. even if they're attractive. If they're in the wrong situation with the
Or
wrong abuse at home.
Or they got schizophrenia or something.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mental health
men too. Like a hot guy with schizophrenia. What a disaster. Wasted all those genes.